doing? What are you doing?
What's up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the obviously awesome Dr. Disaster, and they released this clip here with Ellie Fanning and the new Predator from Predator Badlands doing a little lip-sync dance thing as a means of marketing this new Predator movie. And once again, Disney, it seems, fundamentally misunderstands a male-dominated franchise.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
Seriously, this marketing clip here has no chance in hell at appealing to the established Predator audience. The only hope it has is trying to bring in some sort of new audience, which has been the Disney plan for, oh geez, about a freaking decade by now. But they keep putting out flop after flop, and based on the numbers that we are seeing projected initially for this film, which are lower than the terrible box office bomb Tron Ares from last month, but based on these numbers for Predator Badlands, it looks like Disney has yet another box office failure on its hands.
Oh, it is a fucking surprise.
This is a company that doesn't understand how to make things or market things for men. I mean, look at this poster, this movie poster for the film. You've got Ellie Fanning showing up in the front of it as if she is the big box office draw that's going to make them a lot of money. This is that phenomenon on social media where when a man snaps a picture of something, he actually takes a picture of the thing, whereas when a woman snaps a photo, she has to flip the phone around and get a selfie and put herself front and center in front of the thing, the object that she's trying to take a picture of. For reference, just as an example, this is what movie posters in the Predator franchise used to look like. Simple and effective.
What happened? Your balls drop off?
Disney has no business making a film in a franchise like Predator because they just don't know how to sell it to men, which is why it looks like they are headed toward yet another box office bomb this year. In fairness, I have heard some mixed reviews on the film thus far. Some people I trust have said it was actually okay, but a lot of people are saying that it's utter shit. The Rotten Tomatoes score for the film is actually pretty damned high, at least at the outset here, but if the movie ends up being alright, and I'm being dragged to it this weekend, so I will find out soon enough, but if it ends up being good, then this illustrates my point even more. Fire your marketing department right away, Disney, or at least reallocate these ladies into something that is a little more suitable to their talents.
Go make me a sandwich.
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've had a lot of people tell me that they have been unwillingly unsubscribed to the channel, so make sure you look into that, and also, don't forget to follow me over on X, where my handle is Dr. Disaster 1, and if you want to help keep the lights on, consider becoming a member of the channel for as little as $5 per month. Anyhow, let's take a look at the numbers for Predator Badlands. We are going to read about it in this article here from That Park Place. It says here, Disney is staring down yet another theatrical storm, and this one involves a franchise once considered strong. With Predator Badlands hitting theaters this week, early box office forecasts are painting a bleak picture, and Wall Street analysts, exhibitors, and moviegoers alike are watching closely. Industry outlet Global Box Office reports that Predator Badlands box office expectations currently sit between 23 million and 32 million domestic for opening weekend, against a production budget reportedly north of $100 million. And for reference, Tron Ares, which was a huge disappointment for Disney, an undisputed box office bomb, that film had a box office opening weekend of 33 million. So Predator Badlands is on pace to finish behind that movie. Now, I will grant you that Tron had a much higher budget than Predator, so that film will still end up being the much bigger bomb in the end, but still, it goes to show how culturally irrelevant Predator has become under the stewardship of the Disney brand. Though, in fairness, Fox wasn't really doing them a lot of favors over the past decade prior to this either. Anyway, it says in the article next, even if Predator Badlands pushes toward the higher end of its opening box office estimates, analysts suggest it would still face a steep climb to profitability. As Global Box Office put it, a $100 million budget means it needs at least $250 million worldwide to break even. And just to break that down for you, because a lot of people, when they hear these numbers, they just don't understand how finances in the movie business works. But let's break it down. When a theater sells a ticket to a moviegoer, the producer of the film does not get to keep 100% of that ticket price. In fact, the breakdown is about a 50-50 split because, of course, the theater is not going to show the movie for free. They have to make something off of the movie as well, so that they can pay their employees and keep their lights on. This means that in order to make back the production budget on the film, Badlands needs to rake in $200 million for Disney, which, by the way, the Predator franchise has never managed to do that in its history. Alien vs. Predator was the highest grossing film in the franchise at a little over $170 million. So that speaks to another major Disney problem as well. Management in this company are legitimately a bunch of suckers who keep on greenlighting projects with massive, out-of-control budgets that simply have no hope of ever making their money back unless they are huge hits. But I digress. The next thing to factor in is the marketing budget for a film, because it costs money to put out trailers on TV and YouTube ads and that sort of thing. The typical marketing budget for a Disney film these days is another $100 million, though analysts are expecting the budget for this movie to be much lower. In fact, they are obviously expecting it to be about $25 million, which is why they have tacked on an extra $50 million to the total that Badlands would need to bring in order to break even. And to be clear, I'm willing to bet that it's higher than that $250 million. The precise reported budget for the film, the production budget that is $105 million, which means that they would need $260 million to reach break even actually if there is a $25 million marketing budget. But the point is that these people are spending exorbitant sums of money on projects with no hope of seeing a return, and it is at least partially because they refuse to market their films to who their target audience ought to be. The article talks about this sort of thing. They show a tweet here with another picture of a different movie poster, and this time at least the Predator is standing in the foreground and Ellie Fanning is behind, but even then the Predator looks like an effeminate clown. It looks like it's wearing a skirt or something. These people are just clueless about these franchises, and the article says here it isn't just the numbers raising concern. Fans online have been vocal about franchise fatigue, uneven trailers, and the perception that Disney hasn't been listening to moviegoers. One commenter admitted their excitement vanished after seeing promotional material, saying they went from hype to hesitation. And yeah, I have to say, if I wasn't being dragged dragged to this film, there's no chance I would see it in theaters. The professional movie critics, aka the marketing cheerleaders for the likes of Disney, they have been writing pieces like this for the film, thinking this might draw people in, and obviously, at least with this movie, Disney refuses to do the obvious thing and market their film to the people who traditionally watches this sort of thing. When it comes to franchises like Predator and Star Wars, they try to turn them into girl brands, and when it comes to family films like Snow White, they plug in weird feminist shit, and they race swap and gender swap all over the place. But the problem that they run into is that by doing this sort of nonsense, they are taking for granted the built-in audiences to these IPs and assuming that they will show out no matter what. But that has not happened, and they have lost a ton of money recently. But there is at least a shred of hope that this is going to turn around for Disney. I'm going to show you a news clip from Dr. Phil that has been circulating on social media. He appears to be pretty damned based on this subject, speaking recently about how it looks like Disney might be making a bit of a U-turn with future movies.
I hate to say I told you so, but Disney, I told you so.
Told you so. Told you so.
Why? Because now they're acting like none of the race-swapped princesses, the same-sex kisses of the seven dwarfs being replaced by magical beings ever happened. Suddenly, they're rethinking things. Yep, after the billion-dollar losses, the boycotts, the empty theaters, they're not enlightened, they're embarrassed. The real story today is that now Disney is trying to scrape the woke off the castle walls like it was just a bad coat of paint. Here are the most recent headlines. Disney is set to hire a white actress to star in its latest reboot after dumping DEI amid woke fury. Disney set to hire a white actress to star in its latest reboot after dumping DEI. Fear, Disney's anti-woke move after huge box office bombs. 6 months ago, I said this was coming. I said Disney's woke Snow White remake, a $270 million modern makeover, was a box office train wreck waiting to happen. Well, I'm sorry, but that changes the whole premise of this story from the 1800s. It succeeded because it was a wonderful fairy tale. Well, look who finally got the memo. For years, Disney bent over backwards to please the woke left, turning creativity into corporate guilt. Every remake became an apology tour. Every fairy tale had to check a different DEI box. You can't listen to the loudest voice just because they're shrill.
There are hints that Disney is being forced to regain its senses after so many massive financial dumpster fires at the box office. The problem they're going to run into is that I don't know what it will take for me to ever trust them again. Marketing like what we see for Predator Badlands will leave me skeptical of this company for a long time. But I'm going to leave it there. Do you believe Disney will ever turn it around? And what would it take for you to ever trust them again? Drop your thoughts into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.